This woman walks in to a barn at 3 a.m. and she sees a woman dangling from a meat hook. All right. You probably don't remember much about this story.
A little bit.
This guy was up for parole. That's the shocking thing. So, to me at least, I think that's shocking.
It's Canada.
Yeah.
So, there is that.
Yeah. So, he was convicted of 6, charged with 26, confessed to 49. He tells one inmate that he wanted to hit that 5-0. Anyway, we're going to get started. We are going tonight to 953 Dominion Avenue, and I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong. Can anyone help me here? Port Coquitlam in British Columbia, Canada. All right, 953 Dominion Avenue, Port Coquitlam. That kind of sounds right. This is in Canada, so this is it, or what used to be it. I do remember this from the story we did a long time ago. Let's see, you can't see in it. Oh man, if I was in the area, I would definitely sneak on this place and do
It's like right outside a suburb.
Yeah, no shit, right?
Which that I don't remember.
So this is a pig farm, or it was a pig farm.
Yeah, that's like a very odd place for a pig farm. Right?
Yeah, no, I get you. Let's, I mean, these are nice houses too.
Yeah. You think their value's gone down because of this?
Fuck yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, dude. You gotta be kidding me. There's no way these houses are worth anything. I mean,
they are nice.
Yeah, but look who your neighbor is. Oh, here's a good spot right here.
Pig farm.
Here's a good spot.
Not just any pig farm. Willie Pickton's pig farm.
The people are riding like there's a trail back there. Jesus Christ.
I would not. At least not back in that day.
Jesus Christ, man. That is nuts. I mean, and look at one more time, like, look at the tracks. Like, what is that?
I don't even know.
You know? Because they did search, like, all of this stuff.
Maybe that's like them combing the dirt
I
for
honestly
bones.
think it is, dude. What else would it be, you know?
I don't know.
Like, what else could it be? Holy shit, dude. They tore the whole thing down.
Or rightly so.
They should put like a park there. A pig park.
I mean, yeah, I guess. But it's still, I guess they can't because they're still like digging stuff up there, right?
I mean, no, I don't think so. No. I mean,
that's her Baumeister.
Yeah, this was...
Sorry, I'm getting my headlines crossed.
All right, so tonight, that's where we're going to. This isn't going to be the full rundown, I will say, but it will definitely be worth you being here. I have already covered this episode. I don't remember which episode number it was. I think it was like 65 or something. I think that's what Shram had told me. But yeah, so if you want to hear the full thing, go there. But we're going to recap it. Tonight we're starting at the pig farm, March 12th, 1999. Do you remember where you were in 1999? Does anyone on here right now, I doubt it, but does anyone not know what Y2K is?
Don't ask the question you don't want the answer to, John. You might be the only oldest person here. You don't know.
Holy shit. If I was a rapper, I think that would be my name. Y2K.
Y2K.
Y2K. Or white bread. I think white bread.
Yeah, definitely white bread.
All right. So we are talking about Robert Pickton tonight, the serial killer pig farmer. We're actually starting with his roommate. For the last 2 months, a Lynn Ellingson, she was a key witness at his trial, testifying on what...
Her son goes by white bread. Yes, Desiree. There you go.
Really?
All right, good. Heidi, I'm glad you know what Y2K is. I feel better.
What a joke. Whatever. That shit was serious business at the time. I remember Leonard Nimoy got on there and was like, remember that?
I remember when we went to an ice cream shop and... The bill was, I believe, $19.99, and you made the comment of, wow, man, $19.99, what a year, that whole Y2K thing, and the girl...
was born in 2001 or some shit.
It was like, yeah, you remember Y2K, right? $19.99, the girl was like, I was born in 2002, so I, like, heard about it. Hey, Lauren.
What's up, Lauren? All right, we're starting with Lynn Ellingson. Lynn is a key witness in the trial. She was a roommate of Pickton for about 2 months.
Imagine being that dude's roommate.
Well, she was a sex worker, and she was addicted to crack cocaine, and she was trying to make ends meet. She had met Pickton through one of his many parties that we'll kind of briefly go over. And she said, hey, I can do some odd jobs around here, take off the trash, drive the truck places. I can even go pick you up some hookers to have sex with for room and board. So that's basically what happened. So she had her own room, and she is a testifying witness. She was a testifying witness at his trial. So this is her story.
Okay.
March 12th, 1999, Lynn Ellingson, a tall, slim, blonde sex worker. She had just spent the night riding with Willie, her roommate, downtown, east side downtown, picking up another prostitute to bring back to the farm. Now, she doesn't know anything about the killings. She's not in this with him at all. She's just there for the drugs, and she's just there to help bring in more girls because he has a sexual lust that cannot be quelled. This night goes like this, according to her testimony. They find a prostitute to bring home, and her name is Georgina Papin. They go back in his truck. They ride back to the farm. They're sitting on the couch. They're smoking crack cocaine. And then he says, okay, which one of you wants to go first? As in, which one of you wants to have sex with me first? Now, he would pick up these women, promising them drugs and cash, which he did deliver. So Papin walks into the room with this guy, Willie, and they start having sex. The roommate, Lynn Ellingson, she goes into her own room. She smokes some crack by herself, and she kind of just mellows out on her bed, and she drifts off to sleep. This is what she's recalling to the jury.
Yep.
Sometime in the middle of the night, 2 a.m., let's say 3 a.m. maybe, she hears this loud bang, bang, or something. She hears something. It's not like a gunshot, but it's like a clashing metal. Something enough to wake her up. Something loud enough to wake her up. Mm-hmm. Now, the defense attorney for Willie Pickton, who's on trial, is going to try to discredit everything she's saying because she's obviously a drug addict. But I can assure you that everything she says is 100% accurate. She hears this loud bang. Outside of her window in this trailer, there's a bright light that's kind of just shining right on her. It's the light to one of the barns that Willie slaughters pigs in. And it's really bright. And this is 3 a.m. Why is that on? Mm-hmm. Like, why is this so bright? And I know you've never done crack cocaine. Neither have I. But if you've been doing it all night, bright lights hurt. Mm-hmm. So she is like, oh my God, what the fuck? She gets out of bed. She walks out the front door. She is walking towards the barn. She's curious as of what is going on. Why is this guy up right now? What is going on? How do I turn this light off? How do I get more crack? Like, what do I need to do? As she's moving closer to this barn door, she starts to hear some noise. She doesn't recognize what it is, but it kind of sounds like someone's working, like cutting or just grunting. Can you read from the Toronto Star?
From Toronto Star, July 3rd, 2007, Ellingson walked into a barn following the trail of a bright light and noise. The smell didn't hit her until she got closer, when she went inside the barn and she saw a woman's body hanging from a meat hook.
Okay, she knew that Willie is a pig farmer. She knows what he does. He hangs up pigs. He slaughters pigs. There's a really famous picture of him doing it. Actually, let me show you that picture right now. And something to think about right quick, guys. I had posted a video, maybe a TikTok, I don't know, asking if anyone thinks that this guy looks a lot like, what's his name, Jack Baker from Resident Evil 7. Let me know if you also agree that this guy looks like Jack Baker. What do you think?
I know he does.
Yeah, me too.
Like, weirdly. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Well, it's not that picture that looks like him. It's that one other one that's like really, I don't know if they have it on here.
Do you have it on your video that you made?
Oh, here it is right here. Yeah, probably. I would imagine I do. So this is him.
Can't see it yet. Yep.
Right there. You think
you don't need to tell me.
So I think they did it on purpose because look at his shirt there, right? And then where is that one picture at? Yeah. And then look at that shirt. I mean, is that not like
uncanny?
I think they did that on purpose, man.
Maybe he could have been the inspiration.
And he was a pig farmer too. The guy in Resident Evil, right? Or something.
I don't know about that.
Anyway, now this is from Ellingson. This woman, okay. You didn't sound very shocked. I know you've been doing this for a while. But this woman walks into a barn at 3 a.m. in the morning, and she sees a woman dangling from a meat hook. That didn't even faze you.
No, it should. I know. I mean, it's gross and gruesome.
Yeah.
Sorry. I didn't give you the reaction.
Yeah, this whole thing kind of works off reactions. You know that, right? Can you try that again? This woman walks in to a barn at 3 in the morning, and she sees a woman dangling from a meat hook.
How'd I do? Too forced?
Yeah, I think people would know. So this is how he seems like a nice guy.
Where did you get that impression?
This is how you hang up. See the pig back there?
Oh God, no.
So you'd pull the chain.
No.
So this is what she is seeing. She is seeing
a woman there.
A woman instead of a pig. Obviously, this is like the famous pig picture. This is the famous pig picture. Go to talkmurder.com to see it. Instead of a woman, or instead of a pig, it's a woman. Okay, you guys don't seem, even you guys online are like, change the record. This woman had, quote, chipmunk cheeks, long black hair. Her toenails were red and dangling in front of her at eye level. Now, this witness, Lynn, she's a drug addict, but she was also a high school track star. She just got mixed up. She's young. She has never seen anything this bad or experienced anything. Yeah, she has to do stuff for drugs, but she is a delicate flower. I'll show you a picture of her if you want. She looks very fragile, like her psyche. She is not strong-willed. She is not, what I'm trying to say is, she cannot handle what she is seeing. And this is important because the defense for the man on trial is quizzing her about it to make sure she's legit. She described the red toenails specifically because of this woman, the prostitute Georgina Papin, who was hanging from the meat hook. Her red toenails were right at her eye level, at Lynn's eye level. So Lynn walks into this barn, opens the door, and immediately stops and freezes. Luckily for her, those red toenails are right in front of her because her eyes do not move from that position. Has anyone ever been in a position where you see something so horrific that you cannot look at it? Maybe even a horror movie. You're in a horror movie. You know something's there behind the curtain. You damn know it is. You know it's behind the curtain, but you cannot make your eyes look at it no matter what. It's safer for your peripheral vision to take it in. If you've been in that state, then you know what Lynn is feeling. Because what is in front of her is undescribable. So she focuses on the one thing that her mind can process is that red toenail polish. Now, there's other things in the scene here. This woman's hanging, yeah, but Lynn says this woman had long, black, shiny hair. Now, Lynn's not looking up. She doesn't move her eyes the whole time. Her eyes are fixated on these toenails, but her peripheral vision sees this black, shiny hair, but it's not on her head. It is on a side table, a shiny metal side table you would use if you're a butcher to store your cleavers. Resting on top was the woman's hair draped over. It was her scalp. She's been scalped. She sees that. Now, she is in shock at this point, so she is trying to get all this information in, but she doesn't know what she's processing. She sees the shiny black hair lying on top of a table. It was bloody. She knew it was the hair. She knew, because she spent all night with this woman, she knew who it was, whose hair it was. Now, she's still in shock, looking straight at these red toenails, and she notices something on the floor behind this hanging body, who she hasn't fully seen yet. It looked like when you get home and it's cold outside, you just got back from the restaurant, you take your fur coat and you throw it on the ground. I'll hang this up tomorrow. Like whatever it was that was behind this body kind of looked like that. Hopefully it's that. She knows it's not that. But what is it? Okay, this woman's hair's right here on the shiny table. What is this on the floor behind the body that is dangling in front of me?
From the butcher, the woman, Georgina Papin, was just hanging there, covered in blood. Willie had placed her on a hook in the same manner that he always hung up the pigs that he was going to slaughter. The victim's feet, whose toenails were painted red, were at Ellingston's eye level. On a shiny table next to the hanging body, Ellingston saw black hair lying there, Georgina Papin's hair, and a lot of blood. She also saw 2 bloody knives. It looked to her like Willie had skinned Papin and was preparing to butcher her like an animal.
It wasn't just her body hanging up. She had already been skinned like a pig would be skinned. You take the skin off, you cut a little bit at the neck, and then you rip it off.
So her toenails remain even though the skin's not there?
This is all she wanted. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, because the cuticles aren't connected to your skin. Oh God, that does make it kind of drive it home, doesn't it? She is in shock. There is a skinned human being in front of me. I was just laughing and playing and talking with this woman just hours ago, and now she has been scalped and skinned. Her skin is on the floor. She is in shock. She cannot look. This is not a hallucination. She is seeing what she is seeing. She would have sat there for the rest of her life staring because she was in shock. If it hadn't been for the man who did this to put his bloody hand on her shoulder and bring her out of this world she was in. She says this to the jury, quote, "He was cutting something. There was blood everywhere. I just remember staring at her feet." So she was fixated. She would not move her eyes. She had so much trouble describing it because her eyes refused to look at the bigger picture. And then she is brought out of this state by this hand being placed on her shoulder, her looking over and seeing this bloody hand. And then this is what she said. "Willie
pulled me inside behind the door, walked me over to his table, made me look, told me if I said anything, I'd be right beside her." So that is nuts, is it not? Indeed.
So Willie Pickton, this is kind of what I know about the story. Like I said, I haven't done the whole story. I've already done the story.
We've done it once before.
Yeah,
this is a good memory refresher since he's in the news.
He's in the news, yeah, but I don't know what's more shocking. What I just told you or the fact that this guy was up for parole.
Touche.
Some of the things, so this is basically what you need to know about Willie Pickton. He inherited the farm along with his brother David. David had no idea that his brother was murdering prostitutes on the farm. He was involved in sleeping with them and paying and doing drugs and all this stuff. In fact, the local police hated Willie Pickton and his brother before any of these women went missing because they turned this farm, this inherited pig farm, into the, quote, Piggy Palace Good Time Society. And they would have massive parties. According to Willie Pickton, who he told an undercover agent posing as a cellmate, which is how we got a lot of the confession, there had been one party so big that 1,700 people were on the farm. Now, these aren't...
That's a rager. That's not just a party.
Yeah, so
imagine... It's a fucking rager.
Imagine all those houses, right, that are right there. They're hearing music. They're hearing motorcycles because the Hells Angels would constantly be up there. There were drugs going through there. There were prostitution. Any illicit activity you can think of was happening at the farm. So before he was even under the radar for murdering any of these missing women, the police had already hated him for doing this because he legit set up a corporation, the Piggy Palace Good Time Society, which he registered.
Good Time Society. I don't remember that.
He registered that business name with the Crown of Canada. as a small business, quote, established in 1996 to coordinate, manage, and operate special events, functions, dances, shows, and exhibitions on behalf of service organizations, sports organizations, and other worthy groups. He operated this thing, and the worst people showed up. 1,700 at a time. Huge parties. So he met a lot of people. Mm-hmm. And a lot of those people, the sex workers, wanted drugs. So he could easily convince them to come back to the farmhouse when he wanted some sex. He would pick his victims up at the east side downtown in Vancouver, bring them back with the promise of drugs and cash, which he did deliver, and then he would murder them in several different ways. He claims that he's killed 49. He's tried a lot of different methods. With this method you see here, he skins the woman. I'm not sure if she was alive or not, but somehow she got on this meat hook. Other ways, he would use a small handgun. For instance, one of the victims, who was actually one of the first victims, was a former sex worker and an activist for sex workers. And she ended up as one of the first victims.
Wow.
Her name was Serena Abbotsway.
From The Butcher by Gary C. King, her skull had been cut from the rear of her head up across the top of the skull to an area on her forehead just above her right eye. Another cut had been made up through the center of her face in the middle of her forehead.
They found that .22 caliber bullet in a bucket right beside her head that was also in a bucket. He had used a rotary saw of some sort to cut through the skull.
From the Supreme Court of Canada versus Robert Pickton, an unmistakable signs of having been butchered in a manner similar to the way Pickton butchered large pigs, including vertical bisection of the skull using a saw and the removal of hands and feet by a process known as disarticulation.
Using a plastic skull as a model, the expert was able to show the tool marks and their paths. It's believed that the skulls had been bisected using a reciprocating power saw, the same type used in construction and demolition. So not only did he kill that way, he also confessed to one of the easiest way to kill is say, hey, here's some heroin for you in this needle, or some crack in this needle, and yet it would not be heroin, but it would be antifreeze.
Ooh.
Or radiator fluid. Either one of those would kill his victim within minutes.
Wow.
Yeah. That, he tried strangulation. A lot of the times he would tie up the victim, strangle them. He tried the whole gamut. He said he's killed 49, and we can believe him too. He wanted the even 50, and he, unfortunately, in his mind, was arrested right before he hit the even 50. Now, the reason we've covered that story, our little recap, I hope that was a pretty decent recap.
Oh, yeah. More in depth than I thought you were going to go, I'll be honest.
The reason that we did that is because there is news about this guy. He was up on parole, although he was
denied.
Yeah, he was probably going to get denied, but for killing 27 women that he was convicted for, it's kind of crazy that he was up on parole. Anyway, recently, the 74-year-old man, and this is on May 19th, just a few days ago, was at the Port Cartier Maximum Institution prison in Quebec, and he was involved in a brutal assault by an inmate who has done this before to other inmates. But what we know so far is this Pickton is on life support. Currently, he is brain dead. And I'm going to read this. This is from the New York Post. Robert Pickton, 74, was in a segregated intervention unit at a maximum security prison when he was speared in the head with a broken broom handle on Sunday evening. Jesus Christ.
Yikes.
He is not expected to survive. So we've been seeing Robert Pickton news for a while. Number one, he was up for parole, so people were pissed. All the family members of the victims were pissed. A second news came out with that comedy group that made those shirts.
Yep. That
was, I guess, like glorifying Robert Pickton or making fun of it, the piggy barbecue thing.
Yep.
And number three, this is breaking news. Also, what we just saw today from that last headline we did is they are expecting to bring him off of life support to kind of revive him, I guess. Is that what you got from it?
But can you do that if they're brain dead, or is it basically like you're taking them off life support for them to actually die? You know what I mean?
It says he is in critical condition and he is in a medically induced coma on life support. So this is breaking news. It says this posted today, actually. One of the doctors says the plan is to stay in an artificial coma for 2 or 3 more days and then probably try to wake him up. This is what the medical staff sergeant is saying to CTV News. Quote, so probably in 2 or 3 days, we'll see what will happen with his life. For now, he's on machines to help him breathe. We do not know why he was attacked. We do know that the man who attacked him does have a violent past with other inmates. It says, quote, why he has been attacked, we don't know, because the man who attacked him is in solitary confinement. Quote, he is screaming and we are not able to see him because he is not stable.
Wow, damn. They skewered him like a pig, Shram says.
No shit.
Holy shiv.
Which is the reason I wanted to do this story because, wow, right?
Yeah.
If he was just stabbed or hung or, you know, choked to death, like whatever. But he was speared in the head with a broken broomstick. Whew. Now, I'm not sure that he may actually pull through. I mean, who knows, right? They're just going to wake him up. Let's go back to that headline right quick.
That's the thing. I just don't understand. Like, they can't wake him up. That's like not how it works.
This is what it says right here. This from the Toronto Sun. It says, Sergeant Hughes Bulu says the plan to wake him up in the next few days and see if he can survive on his own. Yeah, so they're going to wake him up, I guess. And I mean, I don't know if he can survive on his own, which is crazy because we also read headlines from the other day that the victims' families were really happy that, quote, the devil is gone.
Yeah.
This is the devil is gone from the Vancouver Sun right here. It says families of women murdered by serial killer Robert Pickton expressed some relief after learning he was critically injured. Cynthia Cardinal, whose sister was Georgina Papin, who was hung up on a meat hook, was killed by Pickton. She told Post Media that she felt, quote, uplifted, and I know it's her spirit because finally the devil is gone. This news actually gives me a little bit of closure for myself. I've had all these feelings today. I know it's Georgina, and I know she's happy. But here's the thing. The devil may not be gone because if they wake him up and he comes out of it, I mean...
I guess I don't think anything, if he's brain dead, ain't nothing coming back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I wonder if that is a way for him to get off of life support. Does anybody know, how that is supposed to be working? I really don't know for sure.
Check this out. This is Lorimer Schinner, a writer and former lead Vancouver police detective on the missing women investigation. And I want to say a lot of these missing women were what would be classified also as, you remember we did the Indigenous women?
Yep.
So a lot of these women were kind of Indigenous, I believe, as well. But this guy who was a lead detective said, quote, obviously Mr. Pickton has caused a lot of pain for many people. Unfortunately, all an attack like this serves to do is further thwart the truth of this case from being told so that all the remaining perpetrators could be brought to justice. It's been an open secret for more than 20 years that these murders were not committed solely by the hands of Robert Pickton.
Oh.
I wonder if he was, I wonder if someone paid to hit him off.
Maybe.
But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that little recap. I know it wasn't too long, but...
No, it was fantastic. That was a great refresher.
For someone, putting antifreeze on people and hanging them up on meat hooks, I imagine he could get out on parole. Like, could not even imagine.
Now I just don't think he's going to make it when they try to wake him up.
Yeah. So I don't know.
We'll have to stay close to the news over the next couple days.
Yeah. But I wanted to do that story because we do it on headlines. And now when we see the headlines, we kind of remember what's going on. Obviously, there's a lot more to that story. So
check out the official episode that we covered on it. Shram, what episode was it? I know you were just listening to it, you said.
It was like 50 or 60 or something.
So
anyway, I really appreciate you guys being here. Obviously, we're going to go play video games on our anniversary.
Because we're cool like that.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll see you guys tomorrow if you're here for headlines, and then Saturday for story and headlines. Jen won't be here.
She will not. Yeah.
Tomorrow. So, and we need to get that Zoom fixed too.
We fixed it. I fixed it.
Okay. All right. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Good night, you lovely, lovely people.
Kind of run this shit.